play with it, you'll see how truly powerful you can become with it and how difficult it is for anybody who doesn't have such an implant to even match your speed. Once activated, this actually lets the time is dilated so much that it can destroy any target before you even get a chance to react. Heck, you can even catch a speeding vehicle and knock out all of its passengers with plenty of time spared afterwards to just do whatever you want. Even the mighty max stack officers can't touch you because of how powerful this build is, so you'll likely want to maybe bump up that difficulty with the highest possible setting. And because you have so many ways to regenerate HP and even revive yourself, you quite literally become an immortal god that only someone with a matching upgrade will even keep up. Unfortunately, nobody like that is in the game, only in the show. It's actually a bit ridiculous we can achieve this kind of power in Cyberpunk 2077 with little to no downside besides the cost and the time needed to kill these zombies in the first place. Kind of hoping for a cyber psychosis mechanic in the future, maybe a bar there that fills up every time we activate the cyber implant, and maybe kind of get closer to the end. That would be nice, but this is pretty much the build right now, and as I said, personally, it's really fun, and the show definitely portrays it perfectly how it is in the lore and the beginning. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Now available.
Just financing over there.
There's no interest here, just finance.
And you finance him even after you saw how little he's working.
Oh yeah. Finance is not a bad word, it costs.
Dragon does nothing. The world's worst criminal, man admired by my Pokemon, son of the marine hero, and father of the future pirate king. He is all of those things. But when I say that we can never see Dragon with the finger, I mean that almost literally. Despite all of this in over 1,000 chapters of this sort of pirate story, Dragon hasn't really done anything, and it's become a bit of a fan base meme. But where he takes Tesla, I don't know if that's actually true, because they definitely don't think Dragon gets enough credit for the stuff that he has done. And a lot of that comes down to how Eiichiro Oda has chosen to portray Dragon in the manga. So I've gone through the entire series of Dragon's appearances and its historical notations. What we're going to do, right, is we're going to mathematically calculate exactly how much nothing Dragon has done. With that, let's begin our Dragon Quest. 25 years ago, Dragon started the Freedom Fighters. Slightly cringy name aside, this is a good start because starting something is a game something. 24 years ago, Dragon witnessed all the Roger's execution, and he did what would go on to become a classic Dragon maneuver, which was to stand there. Nothing. But to be fair, so everyone else was there, but also nothing. 24 years ago, Dragon also missed her heart. He said, I
Thought you were.
Hello?
also can actually fight back. Just watch, Vegapunk. I'll change the world. So he said what he would do, but didn't actually do anything here either. In that very same year, Dragon took another lovely trip to the Sorbet Kingdom and broke Bartholomew, Kuma, and Ginny, no last name provided, out of prison. This might seem like Dragon did something, but don't you be fooled. The only thing we actually saw him do was stand there with his arms folded and scowl. As an introvert, I highly value being able to choose when and how I speak to people. So this is very much a win-win for me, as well as a win for the over 4 million people who have already used BetterHelp to start healthy and happier lives. And you can do the same through my link in the description. To get started, you just need to fill out a questionnaire describing your specific needs. And in most cases, you'll be matched with your therapist within 48 hours. The best part is, if your therapist doesn't feel right to you, which is okay, that's quite common when finding a therapist. But in that case, then you can switch to a new therapist at no extra cost without stressing over all of the things like insurance and networks. So if you think you might benefit from therapy, then consider BetterHelp. If you visit through my link in the description, then you will get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. So give BetterHelp a go and see if it's right for you. And thanks so much again to BetterHelp for helping us on this channel. And now it's back to you. Now for the next 10 years, we know very, very little about what Dragon did. However, if I had to wager, I'd say that even if every moment of every day was recorded, it still probably wouldn't be worth recording. Two things are known. At some stage during this decade, Dragon had a midlife crisis and got himself a sick cat over on his face. And he also had a son called Luke. But for admittedly probably good reasons, Dragon decided not to parent his son, so that's Dragon doing something followed by 20. So Ginny was actually the Eastern Forces conducting a Revolutionary Army mission in East Blue, during which time an ominous silhouette popped up behind her, and the next thing we know, Ginny's being captured. This is of course reported to Dragon at headquarters a while ago. Dragon, understanding this information, decides to formulate a plan to Ginny. Literally, the very next panel we see in this series takes place 2 years later. It's not like Ginny just vanished. In fact, the Revolutionary Army was able to acquire some detailed information regarding the whereabouts, which is that they discovered that a world level had design on electricity and woke up in the city. Now, conventional wisdom said, because this was before the Revolutionary
Motherfucking son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Good time. You know what happened? Said you wanted. All this shit was fucked up. Said you wanted to. This is your connecting rod. It goes to the piston and hook the hole to here.
Shit.
Army had built itself up into the force it is today. So just strolling on into Marijuana with a handful of individuals determined to free a single slave would surely be correct? I mean, that's exactly what they eventually did during the reverie, and we'll get there. But I would have accepted this if not for the existence of Fisher Tiger. He climbed up a whole red line barehanded and launched a one-man attack on Marshall. In his words, he insisted on setting himself apart from humans. He rose up and broke away taboo by attacking sacred marijuana all by himself and freeing the slaves. But if I did want to make another excuse for Dragon, then what I'd say is that Fisher Tiger attacked marijuana 50 so 1 year before he was captured, which works both for and against Dragon. The way it works for him is that perhaps after this event, the Lord Nobles reassessed the security of the Holy Land and made it theoretically impossible to perform such an attack again. The way it works against Dragon is because it's existing proof that a raid on the Holy Land can work. And not only that, it can succeed in overall attacking the know-how, the firepower, and the revolutionary Remember, Fisher Tiger was one man, not a really strong man. He was one man without a plan, no plan. He just went in there and started messing shit up. Fisher Tiger didn't even have any super special powers either. He wasn't a free user. He literally wasn't able to teleport like a certain Kuma. So in my opinion, Dragon well and truly did nothing. Skipping forward 12 years ago, Dragon witnessed the great tournament. Taking on the cover of the chapter when it happens, which I think just displays the Dragon being the best. Just sitting, chilling, watering his snail pose. However, this is one situation where he deserves a lot of credit. While I guess it's still technically unconfirmed, Dragon is almost certainly the one who ruled.
He hits a smart center stage and is crushed by a baby grand piano.
You're replacing me?
Customize and save with Liberty Bill.
He doesn't even have a mustache. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Passed through the flames of the Great Terminal and saved who knows how many lives. But in addition to that, he also went out of his way to save Saba. By out of his way, I mean he left his ship on his own. He's late because he did something, in this case, two somethings. So 12 years ago was a pretty great time for Dragon-based activity. 4 or so years later, Bartholomew Kuma announced that he needed to leave the Revolutionary Army in order to find a cure for Jewelry Bunny's disease, the Sapphire Scales. And what's very important about this is that Kuma did find out the name of the disease before he left the design. He also found out there was no known cure, that's why he had to do the leaving and the searching. And he tells Dragon, his boss, he tells Dragon all about this, and Dragon does nothing. And you might ask, well, what was Dragon meant to do? He's not a doctor, I think. We don't know, I guess. But he's not a scientist. He can't be expected to cure an incurable disease. But at the same time, Dragon did personally know Dr. Vegapunk. And at this stage, he'd known Vegapunk for over 16 years. And there is no one more qualified in this world to help Bonnie. Now, Dragon would eventually reveal this information to Kuma, but how long would that take? Well, almost exactly 4 years from the time that Kuma told Dragon about the disease. And Dragon does give some justification for this. He says that ordinarily Vegapunk is kept under very heavy security because he's a very, very important world government dude guy. And Dragon refers Kuma to Vegapunk after Caesar Clown destroyed the punk house of Nile. So Vegapunk became somehow much easier to approach in the lab transition. See, I would have thought that security would have been higher during the transition because there's more points of potential compromise. Regardless, I don't think that Dragon should have withheld this information. Even if Vegapunk was seemingly impossible to reach, he should still tell Kuma about this possibility. And hey, maybe with that in mind, Kuma can scout out Punk Hazard and use the next 4 years to plan some sort of stealthy infiltration instead of aimlessly searching the world for a cure. To be clear, everything turned out for the best. Because of this journey, Kuma discovered all of these locations to send the Straw Hats to during the time skip. However, things turned out well in spite of Dragon's actions, not because he was doing the right thing, but because he was doing anything. But Dragon does tell Kuma eventually. It does lead to Bonnie getting cured, so I'm a little bit torn on this. He did both nothing and something again, so I guess we just give it both. Moving forward, the last time we see Dragon in the flashback, and the last time we see him last at the time he was reported, is when he's reacting to Kuma's erratic behavior. You know what he's telling his forces to do? That's right, nothing. He says that Kuma has his reasons and to not go after him. So now Dragon's philosophy of nothingness is spreading down to the others, which takes us to 2 years ago in Logtown. which is when Dragon is first introduced to us in chapter 100, and he enters the series with a big bang. And again, this is unconfirmed, but it was almost certainly him who taught Ace the street, where the phenomena that saved Luffy had been executed by a clown. And Dragon did go so far as to engage in the closest thing we've seen to a fight to date, which was to restrain Smoker from, I'm not actually sure what he's doing. Cat is jitty out, but what was he going to do? Just smack Luffy with this couple of times? It doesn't matter, we'll never know, because Dragon got into a physical altercation for the sake of his son. That is the definite did something. Dragon also says some very ominous words, which are, the world is waiting for our answer. And going forward, that quote could not be more appropriate, because at this point in time, we as readers have spent over 1,000 chapters waiting for your answer, Dragon. We have no idea what your plan is, when you're going to do it, or even if you're going to do it. This is a very exciting juncture for this video, though, because we finally entered the timeline of Luffy's story, and surprisingly, Dragon is sitting at roughly an equal amount of did somethings versus did nothing. But I'm afraid it's going to go very downward. The return to Water 7 arc is a landmark moment for Dragon, because this is the arc where we discover that he is Luffy's father. And you'd think that such a grand reveal might come with some enthusiasm from the father, but we actively see him leaving the Revolutionary Army control room where all of the stuff is happening, so that he can go outside and poetically muse to himself. Live as you wish, Luffy. There are times in history where it takes a will such as yours, together with chance and coincidence, to make people question the world. The day will come when we shall meet. It's lovely, there's some nice words happening there, but he's not doing it. He's essentially taking his phone. One of the Revolutionary Army officers even asked where Dragon is going. He's just like, I'm gonna go get some air. You guys have got this. I believe it. And this is why people think that Dragon does nothing. Because in so many of his non-flashback appearances, he's actively avoiding doing any work. So this is a definite moment he did not. And he also continues the trend of telling his subordinates to do nothing. One dude is feeling pretty good because of a Revolutionary Army victory in North Blue, and Dragon just snaps back with, don't rejoice over victories. This is war. So as soon as he spots his officers doing anything, he's like, excuse me, what's this? Are you doing something?
But I hope you're
Stop it.
still up.
Moving to the Paramount War, this is still the biggest event that's ever happened in One Piece to date. It involved around a large amount of the planet, and almost all of the characters we've come to know and love getting together for a big old punch fight. The Dragon he was obviously not here or doing anything else. Paramount War was published in 2010. So I imagine the Dragon was busy catching up on all of the television of that era. You know, you got your Boardwalk Empires, your Walking Deads, your Victoriouses, all of the classics. And when we catch up with him after the war is over, what we see is him having a bit of a chat with Ivankov on what we've established are his well-lubricated snail trails. You get where we're going here, though. For this appearance, Dragon is doing nothing again. However, in this appearance, there is some promise of a thing, because Dragon goes on to mention that a council of executives from around the world will be convened soon. The death of Whitebeard has destabilized the old world order. The government's machinations are all in disarray, and he's not wrong about that. And you know,
if you're someone that suffers from having sensitive teeth, but you want them whiter, I recommend Sensodyne Clinical White.
this really would seem like the right time to strike, to initiate some sort of revolution via the use of some sort of army. Whilst your enemy is in the weakest position perhaps in the entire history of their organization. But then I guess Dragon realized that there were 4 whole seasons. He procrastinated gathering the executives, and he waited just long enough for the government to initiate a global draft to replenish its military forces, completely restart its admirals, and review its fortifications. One of the biggest questions I've always had about the Revolutionary Army is why they didn't attack Marshall whilst this was happening. I guess that'll all be revealed on the Grand Plan. Maybe technically War isn't even part of the Grand Plan, but it just seems like such a good moment to go. You've got 100,000 Marines already have what's happening. All of them is down there, struggling so apart from the Holy Knights, this is a Marine war at all. There could not possibly be a better time to attack. But he didn't. In fact, Dragon chose the exact opposite time. He sent people in during the reverie when Marine was really fortified it ever gets. But look, we genuinely don't see Dragon again until so often. What we see is sitting in some documents and such. Very important. But really, he's doing even less than usual because of these this is Dragon's whole degree. To Dragon's credit, he does completely follow the Assembly of Revolutionary Leaders years ago. This is Dragon's first most. This, we haven't heard anything from him in 5 years of publishing. When the time does finally come to give Dragon a dramatic re-entrance into the story, it's about the most mundane thing anyone could have ever imagined. He's sitting at his desk doing a game. Luckily enough, though, from here on out, Dragon does pop up relatively more frequently. Like, we're talking at least once a month from here on out. In fact, we technically see him twice during Zone in this. This doesn't help his case because he's reacting to what's shouting with Sabo. So, as usual, just doing nothing. But during Whole Cake Island, hearing a reverie in the background, that comes with the promise of things. But what we hear of the Revolutionary Army is that the Blackbeard parents have attacked Baltimore, and it seems highly likely that Dragon either wasn't there or didn't fight because they lost their headquarters and ran away. Funnily enough, though, this is the first time we see a picture of Dragon, and he's shocked that he shares genetic material with him. But the next time we see Dragon is chapter 904, where he's talking about plans to do something, but he himself is not actually doing anything. He's sitting at a table on Mama Hero Island having what I'm sure is a lovely time, because there's a distinct lack of any physical activity as a It's getting to the point where Dragon's starting to remind you of those people who would have content creator in their Twitter bios, and always talk about what they're going to make, how awesome the content's gonna be, but then they never actually make anything. Because they've spent all of their time and energy talking about what they're going to make instead of actually doing making. Look, actions speak louder than words. When it comes to Dragon, it speaks louder. Now, during Wano, we also get to see Dragon one time.
Why so mysterious? Get to the point.
Reacting to the news about Sabo and doing anything. And at the end of Wano, I feel like the world itself is standing up for Dragon, because the groups that support the Revolutionary Army all started worshipping Sabo and calling him the Flame Emperor because he's the one actually out there getting stuff. That takes us to He rocks up in 1058 to Sarah's group. He joins a group call with Sabo in chapter 1060, but again, shortly after, we also hear him conversing with Shaka Cry. Well, I wanted noted that Shaka called Dragon because he wanted to warn him about his times. So again, Dragon is actively feeling it. You know, Shaka tells him about feeling good. Dragon responds by telling Shaka to stop joking, by telling him to do nothing about that feeling he's having. Dragon, in chapter 1067, Dragon does nothing. Also, Dragon's free and on his way to the mind. Then in chapter 1068, Dragon still remains hard for shook because any of those things. In 1082, Dragon sits passively with Sabo and has everything during the reverie. However, he does bring out a little and in 1083, there's a big moment in character development as Dragon pours the wine with a tuk-tuk sound. It's insane that that's worth noting as an activity, but it's genuinely exciting if all you do in One Piece is watch Dragon. And in 1086, under some of those games, Dragon gets that's pretty hard now. Dragon's final appearance at the time of this recording is in chapter 1103, where Dragon is So our final touch is across 29 appearances and recorded events of Saga, Dragon is done almost quite literally. So from the done anything, he's been very influential. He had a lot of decisions and a lot of unpaid carrying. But it's just that whenever we as readers see him, approximately 80% of the time, he's being completely inactive. It's at the point where I think Eiichiro Oda has been a bit too generous with Dragon's appearances in the series. Maybe he shouldn't be including him as much until he's actually ready to kick Dragon into the game. Because I remember the days when seeing Dragon used to be an event. Like something that would only happen once every couple of years. And even if he was doing nothing, very few just seeing him as something in and of itself. But these days, it's not rare anymore. We see Dragon too often that he does too little on screen, which is what results in the overall impression that Dragon does nothing. But if you want to do more with Dragon, then please do subscribe to this channel for consistent injections of this culture administered directly into your YouTube feed.
Once enamel's gone, it is gone. But new enamel repair mouthwash enhances your enamel repair beyond brushing.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. When you think of the top pirates of the last few generations,
Okay, I'm back. Stop. Hang on. Gotta go. saying? Got a Delta. Later. As you were saying.
I am convinced. But it will be a start.
Fine. Where's the meet and when?
Japantown, after sunset. I am sending a precise location. I'll see you there.
Hell yeah, fam. I almost popped the fucking headbang on that bitch. It's cause them fucking motors are not meant to be pulled up. They're meant to be dropped from the bottom. And I don't have a lift, like I don't have the equipment, so I'm not, you know what I mean?
At this point, why ain't I streaming?